Welcome to all of you in HRD. I know we are online, but you are inside the HRD. Among you, I can see some graduated students, so I am happy for that because it means that HRD is really a big, large family. And as all the family, let's say that, as all the institution in this field, uh, let me also say something about our kind of activity. Of course, HRD is having three different main departments. One department is the lab, one department is the research, and one department is the education. Today, you are welcome exactly in the education department. I believe we all knew that HRD is one of the leading laboratory, for diamond analysis. But let me also say that more recently, also for colored gemstones. I would say a natural extension of our expertise. When I say our, I mean HRD expertise. I'm also sure that many of you are familiar with the high quality of our courses, academic and professional courses. And today, I want also to highlight another part or another service HRD is providing, and this is about the equipment. So we are really committed in equipment and gemological instrumentation. It's, let's say, a growing segment where HRD is investing with new solutions and tools designed exactly for the professionals of the marketplace and in the business. Okay, said that, let's go because we are really, now we are baking to enter in the seminar. Let's start with some numbers and figures. And it's a way to understand, not really the numbers. Of course, the numbers are very important. I'm always used to say that the numbers are very important, but more important, and this is the reason why we are looking at this slide, is to understand the trend of lab-grown diamonds. During our journey together, you will hear me say many times synthetic. Yes, I want to use it, synthetic. Why? I'm going to use also synthetic because not in all the countries in our planet, in our world, is fully accepted the terminology lab grown. I know in many countries it's considered a synonymous of synthetic, but keep in mind what I just told you. In the recent years, synthetic diamonds have seen a huge rise, really a huge rise. And also I may say that few of us could predict something like that, especially if we go very, very far, very back in the past. The global market, as you can see also from the slide, exceeds something like 25 billions of US. So we are talking about huge, huge number. But please consider not only in the luxury or in the jewelry segment, but also in terms of industrial, technological, and also medical sectors. Where we should look to understand the success of synthetic diamonds. I would say a very dramatic sentence now. The true success of synthetic diamonds lies in a shift of cultural and economic values. This is worldwide. Basically, what do I mean when I say that? I mean that some final consumer may choose lab-grown diamond for ethical reasons, for example, or others can choose synthetic diamond for the affordability. And why not? Others for the transparent origin, because we know from where and in which way they are coming from. And then we have also to consider the new generations, the so-called, let's keep the field very large. We may say that we should consider also the millennials and mainly the famous Gen Z, because these new generations seems very aligned to their new ideals coming out. Again, when we talk about ideas, we may reconnect to the point of transparent origin. So to do two main very important concepts, sustainability and traceability of the diamond in our case. Very important also, before we keep going in our journey, I want to underline one more point, because I want for you to, for all of us, also for me, to understand that there is a difference between what the market is perceiving, so what we may call the market perceptions, and what is the reality of the marketplace. What do I mean with that? We will go through it. We will touch it deeply in a few. But exactly talking about sustainability and traceability, we will see that not all the situations are sustainable when we talk about lab-grown diamond. Same is for natural diamond. But we have always to consider the final consumer perception. This is extremely important. One more, let's say, introduction point using, again, these slides is what we are going to do together today is also to understand not just where the industry is going, but why is the industry is eating in that direction. To me, it's more important the why than the where, because the where can change for many reasons. Everything can happen, especially now we are experiencing a very turbulent period. But why? It's, I believe, the most important question. And exactly for that, I'd like to spend few more seconds, let's say, exactly on the last point of the slide where we see the driving forces, because I really want to highlight this part. We mentioned more or less all these reasons until now, but let's recap all of them. So where is the success of the synthetic diamond and why? Because of the affordable pricing, the tech advancements, and this will be one of the most important flow in our today's seminar, the sustainability, let's add also traceability, and the younger consumer demand. We mentioned exactly the millennials, from the millennials to the Gen Z, and also the easy online availability. This point we didn't touch until now, but it's important. It's extremely important because, again, it's related to the younger generation. Because the younger generation, but maybe also all of us, I don't know now, I cannot see your faces, I cannot understand your age, but I believe it's a matter of all of us that we always have a phone in our hand, we always have a device we are looking at, and we always are connected, we are always online. Okay. Let's also introduce the different choices, or we may say also the different opportunities a final consumer may have. In our slide, I'm going to take this point from the lab perspective, from the perspective of a laboratory, like HRD, of course. Because when a diamond or when a stone enters in the lab, the first situation we have to fix or we have to face is it a diamond or is it something different? Normally can be a simulant or an imitation, so any kind of material imitating a diamond. Once we answer to the first question, we have the second one. Is it natural or lab grown? Or we may say also man-made. After that, the next question is, no matter if it is natural or man-made, we have also to understand if it is treated or not treated. Just to remind you, a treatment is any kind of human process to modify the color or even the clarity of a diamond beyond the cutting processes. Okay? Why I told you at the beginning this kind of situation is also a matter of opportunities for the final consumer, because in terms of lab, we have to answer to these questions. In terms of final consumer, the final consumer can choose between a diamond or a simulant, can choose between a natural diamond or a lab-grown diamond, can choose between a natural treated or a lab-grown treated diamond. Why not? So we have to consider that the final consumer, with the eyes of the final consumer, that we have a lot of opportunities. And we follow the opportunities, we make a choice, following also our the size, let's say that, of our wallet. Okay, but at the end, going back to the perspective of let's say companies, dealers, diamond dealers, it's always a matter of buying and selling diamonds, natural, lab-grown, treated, not treated, with confidence. We have to be sure of what we are selling. It's very important. And not by case, I'm starting from selling. Okay, we must know what we are selling as a buyer, of course, we must know what we are buying. And exactly who can give us in terms of dealers, or even final consumer when I'm buying, for example, who can give us the proper confidence in buying or selling? It's a certificate made by HRD. Of course, I have to mention only HRD in our seminar, but it's a certificate or a report done by HRD where it's written very clearly if the diamond is a real diamond, if it is natural, lab-grown, treated, and this be said, not treated. Going directly to our lab-grown diamonds, we have to remember that as a humankind, first of all, we observe and then we copy. What we observe? We observe Mother Nature and then we copy Mother Nature. It happened with the treatments, especially if we think about diamonds, diamond treatments, and it's happened also with the synthetic diamond. In fact, the first method as a humankind we developed to create diamond in a lab is exactly what we called HPHT method or growth method. This method, these letters means exactly high pressure, high temperature. In fact, this method is very similar to Mother Nature. And the alternative is compared to HPHT method is more recent. We are talking about the beginning of our century. When we talk about HPHT, we talk about something like 70, even more, or let's say around 70 years ago. So we are in the middle of the previous century. We developed that technology so far, so back in time. When we talk about the other method, I was telling you, the CVD, the chemical vapor deposition growth method, it's more recent because we are exactly at the beginning of our century. We are around 2002, 2004, more or less. And in terms of the process is completely far from Mother Nature. I mean, in nature, diamonds require a lot of temperature and a lot of pressure. So basically, I may say also high pressure and high temperature. But when we talk about CVD growth method, man-made diamonds, then in the CVD, we will discover that we use only temperature and this method doesn't require high pressure. Staying for a moment on the HPHT method, we already said that it's very close to the way the Mother Nature is creating diamonds. But more than the technical part, in this case, I want to drive your attention to some advantages and disadvantages about HPHT method. First of all, in terms of advantages, as you can also see, with HPHT, we can create large diamonds, big size diamonds. It's also possible to have diamonds with a short number of inclusions. We can have fancy color diamonds, and we can have, of course, also DZ color diamonds. And it's very easy to enhance the diamonds, the synthetic diamonds, even during this last part of the HPHT growing method. When we say enhance, we mean treatment. That's another way to mean the treatments. Okay. I want to stay more on the advantages, even far from the list we can see in the slides. Especially, I want to take back the point where we said the diamonds with fewer inclusions. Fewer than what? Fewer than the previous, I would say that, the previous HPHT method, the beginning of the HPHT method. And we may say also that thanks to the chance that we may enhance, or let me use a very old expression, but I like it too much. In the past, we used to say that we can dope the diamond. We know this expression, dope or doping, when it is related to a sportive person. The sportive person can use the doping, some external substances, to increase the performance. And in the HPHT method, but in all the growth methods for diamonds, synthetic diamonds, this expression is used to mean that we can in somehow add some substances. Again, in this case, we are talking about atoms different from carbon, to enhance what? The color of the diamond. So this is why we may have easily have fancy colored diamonds. Mainly yellow, just to be more precise, and mainly blue. Yellow, we need nitrogen, so we can dope the HPHT diamonds with nitrogen. And blue, because we are going to use as a doping the boron, another chemical element. In terms of disadvantages, first of all, it's the shape or the morphology, or to be more strict to the terminology, I should say the habit of the rough. The typical habit of the HPHT synthetic diamond rough is the famous cube octahedron. The cube octahedron is a mix between the beautiful natural octahedron and the beautiful natural cube. In terms of sustainability, so I'm already touching a very common discussion, the HPHT method requires a lot of energy, Why? Because we need, as we said, high temperature, but more than this, we need, we need high pressure. Okay, and as a more comment, we may say that exactly to obtain so high pressure, the equipment we need to have to create the synthetic diamond with HPHT method is also complex and also can be expensive. So if you have in mind to enter in the industry, in the field, and start producing HPHT diamond, synthetic diamond, keep that in mind. Okay. Here in the picture, you can see one of the typical machine used for the creation of synthetic diamond in the HPHT method. If we look at the CVD method, again, we are not going to enter in the technical part of it, but we are going to talk about advantages and disadvantages. The first advantage is the more control over the size, the quality, and the clarity. Okay. More than this, we may also talk about the lower production cost. Yes, producing CVD synthetic diamond costs less than HPHT synthetic diamonds. One also of the typical advantages for the CVD method is the time to obtain the famous flat cube. The flat cube is the typical, let's say, habit of the CVD synthetic diamonds, can take less time than the HPHT. When we look at the disadvantages, we have to mention the color. Sometimes the color is brown or gray. Again, be careful. I'm not talking about a fancy color or colored diamonds. Okay, I'm still inside the DZ color scale. Mainly gray. Why mainly gray? Because during the growing of these diamonds, we may need the presence of a gas. The gas is exactly the source of the carbon we need then to make the diamond growing. And this gas is a mix of carbon and hydrogen. The hydrogen then can enter in the crystal structure of the synthetic diamonds, the famous CVD synthetic diamonds. And the hydrogen can give this gray tint to the diamond itself. Okay. Also for the CVD, there is always the treatment, and normally the treatment is done after the growing. And we may also say that in terms of specific size of growing, so when we overpass, now we are still in the among the disadvantages. Huh? When we overpass a specific size of the diamond, the time of the growing can be slower compared to the HPHT diamond. That's why we mentioned before among the HPHT advantages, the chance to have a big size crystal, because when we talk about size, to be honest, we have always to talk about size in function of the time, the waiting time. I know, I told you, I know that among all of you, there are some my graduated students, and I like to say the waiting time, because I like to imagine the technician there, first of all, handling, managing all the equipment and the software and this and that, and then sitting like I am now and just waiting for the diamonds to grow up. Okay, let's talk about one of the forces we highlight before. Let's enter in technology. Let's start talking about technology. We mentioned it before, and now we enter deeply in it. So for now, we did, let's say, an introduction, an overview about lab-grown diamond. Gemology has changed a lot. I told you before, I something like 25 years in the field, and I saw so many changes since the beginning. I still remember when I was still a student, I may say, in gemology, in that moment, the most trendy equipment was the visible light spectrophotometer. Everyone was in love with it. Then we realized that it wasn't enough. And so then the next one was the Raman, the micro Raman, and everyone was in love with the micro Raman. If we look at the modern time, we may say that all of us, we are in love with the EDXRF. All of them are spectrophotometers. They may use different kind of wavelength in terms of radiant energy. So from the visible light to the infrared. I didn't mention the FTIR, but FTIR is for the infrared. Or and different kind, as we said, radiant energy, different kind of wavelength of radiant energy. Let's go back to the point that I was telling you before, the changing in gemology. We may say that in the latest 20, 24 months, I saw really the biggest change. And now it's not possible anymore to, for example, to identify a diamond just with a simple loop. We can always grade a diamond with a loop, but it's really not possible anymore to identify a diamond with a loop, or even sometimes with a microscope. And when I say identify, please remember I'm talking about in our case, in our seminar case, about the separation between natural and synthetic, or even the detecting of a treatment, the presence of a treatment. Yes, for some treatments, a loop is more than enough. Sometimes, if the stone is big enough, also naked eye. But separating natural from synthetic, forget it. It's not possible anymore. It's not only a matter of, to be honest, of gemology. Yeah? It's also a matter of trends in the marketplace. What do I mean? I mean, try to do it when we close our meeting, our seminar. And if you do a short research, you will see that all the synthetic diamonds, no matter if HPHT or CVD, normally are starting as in terms of clarity grade, starting from VS1, sometimes also VVS2. So it means if there are some inclusions, are very difficult to identify. I'm talking about inclusions now, and to use them to separate natural from synthetic. I mentioned inclusions. Why? Because inclusions are one of the most important, I would say, tool to separate natural from synthetic. But sometimes, as we said, it's not possible to use them. One more very important point before we change our image, our slide. We have to say that technology in the creation of synthetic diamonds has made huge strides. And not only in terms of growth methods, because the growth methods are always the same, HPHT and CVD, but in terms of improving the equipment, the machinery, improving the tools, the machines to use in terms of growing for synthetic diamonds. And I would say also in terms of treating, enhancing the synthetic diamonds. And on the other side, as a lab, for example, we have to keep following this kind of improving in technology. And I would say that this is something like an endless race. From one side, we have, as we said, this improvement in the growing and in the treatment of synthetic diamonds. When we say treatment, always consider the chance to treat also natural diamond, always. And from the other side, as a lab, we have to follow and to improve our technology, not really in terms of detecting natural, synthetic, or treatment, but it's to keep the operation of detecting low cost or acceptable cost. Okay. Now, as I told you, I cannot show you that the room where we have all the advanced equipment, but this equipment, all the spectrophotometers has a cost, high cost, and also the use of them require high cost. And our main goal in terms of lab is to reduce as much as we can this cost in order to sell at the end the certificate in an acceptable price. The certificate cannot impact too much on the final price of a diamond. Again, natural and or synthetic and or treated. Okay. Exactly in terms of advanced equipment, let's meet together. The first one I decided to show you today. We are talking about the infrared, the FTIR, but with in the specific case, I'm going to show you also a short video, very short video, about the ATR. The ATR is coming with a microscope. First of all, I want to thank the Bruker for this very short video. Bruker is a very important company in the field and really helping us to develop the equipment. And using the microscope, the ATR microscope with the FTIR or infrared analysis, we can determine, for example, if a diamond is type 1A, 2A, or 1B, or 2B. Exactly, this is kind of the result is coming out from the analysis with the FTIR. Or even here, you can see some spectra of natural diamonds, annealed nitrogen and hydrogen co-doped diamond, and so on. Determining the type of a diamond is important because at least today, now for me, I'm in Dubai, so for me it's 6:38 in the afternoon of the 7th of May. I may say that if we meet 1A diamond, 1A type diamond, I'm sure it's natural. But if I meet 1B, 2A, or 2B diamonds, I cannot be sure it's natural. So I have to do further analysis. Okay, the further analysis then can require different equipment, advanced equipment. In this other very short video, we may see our technician working with the Raman. To be precise, we are using a green laser Raman with the Raman, the micro Raman, and we are doing all the analysis to determine, in our specific case, if the diamond is HPHT treated or not treated. Okay, we're using also the liquid nitrogen because we want to low down as much as possible the background noise in the diamond structure, crystal structure. This is a typical spectra coming from the analysis using the micro Raman. One of the most important equipment in the lab. Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you. But the first case we saw together before about the ATR microscope with the FTIR, the infrared, it was a moment exactly here in Dubai. What we saw now about the Raman is it's another moment, let's say, in Antwerp. So in HRD Antwerp lab in Dubai and in HRD Antwerp lab in Antwerp. And now we are going to see a moment, identification moment in HRD Antwerp lab, but in Mumbai. Okay, now we are using the synth detect. Again, the synth detect, I'm going to show you also in this case a little bit longer video. So for you, you can understand how it works. It's another tool using different wavelength because we can go from the infrared till region very close to the ultra to the violet, so we can enter in the ultraviolet. And again, the main point for using this kind of equipment, the synth detect, is to determine the type of the diamond and to do it in a very fast way. And again, also the synth detect can give us the chance to work with mounted diamonds. So not only loose, but also mounted. It's important for a lab to be fully sure, 100% sure, oh, I would say 1000% sure that the diamond, no matter if it is mounted or not, is a diamond, is natural or synthetic, and also if it is treated or not treated. Okay. The discussion about sustainability and traceability, I believe it's an endless discussion. We may have our personal opinion. We may believe that our opinion are completely not under discussion. But again, it's not always a matter of what we think, what we believe, or what we are sure about. It's a matter of perception. What, if we are a dealer, if we are selling diamonds, it's a matter of what our consumers, our clients are perceiving. Okay. So it's somehow to keep this kind of debate always open. It's a good point. Okay. If we try to enter a little bit in the debate, we may say that at least until 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the mining company were not sustainable at all. Maybe I was too short in time. Maybe we may say also 5 years ago. In the present time, or starting from the famous 5 years ago, the mining company would invest a lot of money in the sustainability. Why? For example, one of the most important problem in the mining operations was the water. The water still today is used, for example, for the separation of the ore from the diamond crystals. And after all the use of the water for the different level kind of separations, the water was very full of heavy metals or different kind of chemical elements, impacting negatively on the environment, because then the water was released in the environment. This kind of water is called, in a jargon way, black water. Now, as I told you, the mining company invests a lot of money to develop technology again, if you want, filters able to clean the water before releasing the water in the environment. If we touch the traceability concept, then, for example, the natural diamond went through the crisis we called the conflict diamond. That crisis ended in the moment we developed, again, as a humankind, let's say that, we developed the famous Kimberley process scheme. And so now we have the conflict-free certification in place. So we can also assure then our final consumer about natural diamonds and the origin in terms of mine and country, in terms, again, of traceability. When we look at natural diamond, we always have to mention that there is value. When I say value, I don't want to talk about money, numbers, figures of money. I want to talk about a value. And when I say value, I mean something connecting the unicity of a natural diamond with a special moment in our life. What do I mean? At the end of the story, why we buy a diamond? Why we buy or we gift our partner with a diamond? Because we want to make endless in our memory a very special moment in our life. A wedding, for example, or the born of a baby, whatever it is, no matter. There is no, to be honest, it's not important what kind of moment, but it's important that we want really to make it special. So we give to the diamond not only a value coming from the formation, coming from, because the diamond is coming from the heart of our planet. It's coming from a long journey from the mantle to the crust, and from the crust to the mines, and from the mine to the desktop of a retailer. But also because from the moment we buy it, it's our diamond, it means something for us. Okay. Then, of course, if we want to enter more in terms of money, in these terms of value, of course, natural diamonds are still keeping more value than synthetic diamonds. If we switch to the lab-grown diamonds, the debate is, if you look at, for example, the marketing communication in US, one of the most important countries for the synthetic diamonds in terms of sales, global sales. Or if you look at also in India, in terms of, it's extremely important country in terms of production of synthetic diamonds, but it's coming out also in terms of sales. Or if we look, just to mention a country in the Far East, China, another very important marketplace for synthetic diamonds. All the communication following the diamonds, synthetic diamonds, is always touching the sustainable context, the sustainability as a concept, and we can find in the promotional images or in the promotional communication always that the lab-grown diamonds are lower environmental or have a lower environmental impact. This is very common, very typical. Also, following the marketing and the communication for lab-grown, the companies always use the energy, but the energy used to create a diamond is really an open discussion. I would say also endless discussion. Because we said also before, HPHT require a huge amount of energy. HPHT methods require a huge amount of energy for the temperature and for the pressure, mainly for the pressure. But don't think that CVD growing method doesn't require a lot of energy. Also in the CVD, there is a lot of energy consuming. Why? As I told you before, let's take back one of the points we mentioned before. In the CVD growth methods, I told you the origin of the carbon needed for the crystal to grow up is coming from a gas. A gas is made of molecule made of carbon and hydrogen. But to separate carbon from hydrogen, we must transform that gas in a plasma. And to do that, we must have a very, very high temperature. Sometimes this temperature is so high that overpassed 1,700 degrees. Okay, and here we are going to lose a lot, or we are going to use a lot of energy, not for the growing of the crystal, but to transform the gas in plasma. Okay. For sure, when we talk about traceability, again, looking at the synthetic diamonds, it depends on where the facilities growing the synthetic diamond is. Because if it is in a country, consider a modern country, as completely developed country, the traceability is not a problem anymore. If just for all of us to remember, when we talk about traceability, we are also involving the rights of the worker, the condition of the worker, the condition in the place of work, I mean. So in the moment we are in Europe, in US, in India, in China, in other countries in the world, the majority, thanks God, the majority of the countries in the world, we may be sure about the traceability of the synthetic diamond. If we compare it to the natural, before I move on, sorry, it came to my mind now. Before we move on, if we compare the concept of traceability between natural and synthetic, we have to say that in the past, some of the natural diamond mines were located in places where we couldn't, or yes, let's say that, yes, we couldn't grant the rights of the worker. Now, today, thanks God, the situation is getting better. It's different, completely different from the past, and it's getting better day after day. I can say that. Okay. We also mentioned, if you recall for a moment, our initial list about the forces driving the industry. We also mentioned the generations, the young generations. Now, what we are going to do now is to link the young generations, so the millennials, the Gen Z, etc. One more concept that is dividing the natural from the synthetic. We are talking about the affordability, the price. Of course, natural diamonds are costing more than synthetic diamonds. This is obvious. But for a young person approaching for the first time, for example, a jewelry item, saving money can be a relevant factor. That simple saving money by itself. We have to consider that the young generations are looking at luxury items, not only the jewelry items, but also devices, phones, for example. Okay, so it's a matter for the young generation to choose what to buy first and where to save money. I can bring on the table statistics. This is not a very recent statistic because we are still in 2024. And this statistic or this kind of interviews have been done in US, in Europe, in India, and in China, not by case the same countries we mentioned before. And the interviewees were exactly the young generation, the famous Gen Z, all the people approaching, let's say, the majority age, so 18 years old. So we may say the sample was between 16 and 20 years old. And the common question to all of them was, first of all, if they were open to buy synthetic diamonds, and the answer was yes. Second question was related to the first one, of course, was if they were able to buy one more a day natural diamond. And the answer, sorry, was yes again, with a comment, very common comment and very common opinion. As soon as that was the comment. As soon as I have a stability in terms of work and salary, I want a natural diamond. So when we talk about affordability, when we talk about young generations, we have to always to think that the young generations one day won't be anymore young generation. They will be adult, mature person. And in that moment, they will be open to buy natural diamonds. So this young generation, let's say that, are not the bad guys, not at all. It's just a matter of the changes, as we said at the beginning, the changes in our society. It's just simple that. Okay, we are going now toward the closing of my, let's say, speech. So as soon as possible, we open also to the question and answer. I have to stress you a little bit more now with few slides, and then we finally enter, as we said, in the question and answer. exactly for all the things we said until now, talking about technology, talking about the young generation, so the affordability, um, traceability, sustainability, and so on, it's really important to give to the buyer and to the seller, let me always underline the seller too, a full transparency. Okay. It's not only the customer. I know in our slide it's text every customer deserves transparency. Yes, it's true. Of course, it's extremely important. But again, transparency is to me is required, and also the seller deserves transparency. And who is the best partner in that? It's HRD Lab. Now I'm saying HRD Lab, but okay, let's keep a more neutral approach. A lab. Okay, why? Because a lab is a third part. The third part there ready to exactly give the proper confidence to the buyer and to the seller. How? Through the certification, through the reports. No matter again, as we can see in the 4 images on the side, no matter again if the stone is mounted, is the diamond is mounted, is not mounted, is loose, or is natural in the blue label certificates you can see, or synthetic in the yellow label certificates you can see on the bottom. Okay, so it's extremely important, this concept. And again, let me go toward the closing, taking back what we said at the beginning. HRD can be your partner in this journey. Let's make some street, some road, some path together. How? I mentioned the certification, but we are always do not forget all the huge investment. Again, let me take a more neutral position. We have always do not forget the investment in terms of equipment all the labs are doing, at least the most acknowledged lab in the world are doing. Because the problem for a lab to serve in the proper way the market and so our clients, and so basically the end use is to keep the cost of the certification acceptable and not impacting too much the value of the diamond itself. Okay. Then I go back now to HRD. So now allow me to promote a little bit more HRD. Of course, as we said also at the beginning, we are now proposing to our client also the equipment. So we are developing new kind of equipment to serve better the marketplace and the professionals acting in the marketplace. And we have always we can also always provide the technical support for jewelers, for retailers. How? Oh, how can we do it? Just with the certificate, of course, certificate, we decided it's very important. Not simple that. First of all, granting a global presence, HRD is everywhere, but also through the education. We can offer to our, let's say, people, academic courses. Our probable most important or most famous course is the CDG, the Certified Diamond Grader. But we are always now able to offer professional training. And in this case, when I talk about professional training, I exactly want to reconnect what we said in the previous slide. We can, for example, educate not only the dealers, but also the final consumer, if you are a retailer, for example, your final consumer. So we can give you this kind of support daily. And then promoting again the education. I am sure you will forgive me for that. Let me say that also we can provide different formats of education. So we go from the classical on campus for academic and professional training, but also we are running courses online, live session online. Or to be honest, we should say they are at the end a blended session. What do I mean for blended? Only the online session is not leading to the diploma. It's just a way to educate, to train people to face the challenges of the marketplace, but without the diploma. If a student can combine or are going to combine the live session online plus the on-campus education, then it's possible also to obtain the diploma. But staying on the online, now we don't only have a live session, we also have pre-record session with the exactly in the following the same path I told you before, combining the online pre-record session with the on-campus, so we have to see each other personally in some point, okay? Combining so the pre-record online or the online live session with the on-campus session, it's possible to reach the diploma. My colleagues told me, Fabio mentioned that we also have multi-language options. Yes, I'm doing that. So we can also teach in English, in Dutch, in French, in Arabic, in Hindi. I'm keeping Italian for last because it's my language. Also in Italiano, we can do it, okay? And then in terms of global presence, remember, we have HRD has three main hubs. One is in Antwerp, it's our headquarter, historical hub. Then we have Dubai, and then we have also India. Mumbai is the first one in India, but in India we have different labs, not only one. Okay, in Dubai, since I'm here in Dubai now, so I like to talk about that. We have two labs. One is in the famous Almas Tower. Another one is in another tower called Gold Tower. And we divide the labs in two because in one lab we are doing only loose diamonds. And in the other lab, we are only doing mounted diamonds. And for you, and only for you, again, my colleagues told me, oh, tell everybody that. Okay. We have also an offer for our courses. So if you can do a screenshot of this image, there is also me. I don't know if you can see it is a blue square here. That's me. And all of them are graduated students. So maybe if they are already in this group, they can organize themselves. I was telling you, only for you and only for this occasion of the seminar, according to the course you like to follow, pre-record on campus about diamond or about gemology, or the online about live session about certified diamond grader again, or even the digital jewelry design, there is a code. And the code gives you the access to a special discount. Okay, this is exactly what we call coupon codes. So in the moment you're going to enroll, you can use this code to obtain the discount, but there is a but. The but is that it's a limited time offer. We are generous, but we are also to think about ourselves. Okay, before really promise, this is the last step, and then I give you the room, I give you the floor. Before we really close, I'm going to share with you one more point, one more step, and I want to share with you. First of all, I need to stop sharing this. So be patient a little. Okay. Oof. Every time I see all of you there, it's a shock to me. You are so many. And I want to share with you our website. Again, according to education, because some of you told us that they want to know, to understand better how to use the website. So in our website, also, I told you about the coupon, the discount code that you may use. In our website, you can find, this is our website for education, it's only for education. You can find all the courses description, of course. For example, if you, like I'm doing now, if you are here, you can see all the courses according to the different location, the three main hubs I told you before, Antwerp, Dubai, and India. Of course, we have also courses outside of the three main hubs. Again, just to mention where I am now in this moment, here in the Middle East, we have courses from Egypt to Dubai, to Doha, Qatar, to Lebanon, Beirut, Saudi, for example, also in KSA and so on. And then again, you can explore our offer also looking at academic courses, so about polished diamonds, about the gemology. When we say gemology, we mean the color gemstones and also rough diamonds. Again, you can choose the modality. So if online or campus, you may also have professional, jewelry, retail, customized, tailor-made courses. And for example, just to play with you, if you want to attend the next online live course about polished diamonds, like I'm doing now, you just click on it, you open it. Again, it's always me. I hope I'm not, I'm not annoying you with my face every time. And clicking on more info, you have all the description of the course. Clicking on course schedule, you can see also the available dates for the course. If you click on more info again, you can enter in the dedicated page of the course. And here you can perform the full enrollments. And in the website, if you like to change the currency, it's possible. So euro, dollars, dirham, whatever it is. And then you just simple add to cart. In the moment you add to cart, you have to do the registration if you didn't do it yet. Since I've done it, I can show you also that. In the moment you do the registration, you open your account in the website, you will fill a module, it's a form. And once you have done it, you can proceed adding the course to the cart. And then opening the cart, you can finally check out. In the checkout moment, you can use the code I told you before. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to pay for this course. Again, my colleague told me to tell you also one more very important thing. Two last things I have to tell you, and then as I promised, we enter in the questions and answer session. Remember, we have also a very interesting, very cool, to be honest, newsletter. It's in the homepage of our education website. Just a matter for you to put your email here and to submit. And then, if you really like what we did today, remember, we're going to have one more seminar very soon. If you go to special offers, you can click on free seminars, as I did. And here you have all the information about the next one. So I hope you enjoy what we did today together. So I hope to see you again in 1 month, more or less 1 month from now, in the next one. Don't go away, because as I told you, finally, we can start with the questions and answer. Doing that, I'm going to give you the chance to unmute your microphone. So I kindly ask you to raise your hand, to use the special button on the bottom. So I know who wants to say something, to ask or something, or to just make a simple comment. And we don't talk all together. So let me do this step, and then we can hear your voice. Okay, now you have the power to activate your audio, and if you like, also to show your face. Let me see your face. Oh, okay. Okay, I see all of you. Bravi.
Hi, Fabio.
Hello, hello. I can also hear all of you. So, if you have something to say, to ask, to comment, feel free. Absolutely feel free. I see Manuel with a hand. Where are you, Manuel?
Italy, Milan.
Ciao, Manuel. I can see you now. Okay.
Ciao, Fabio. Ciao. I have a question for you because you discussed about lab-grown diamonds, and the seminar was amazing. It's amazing, but I would like to know if there are any technical courses about analysis of lab-grown diamond. You talked about Mitro Raman and FTR and stuff like that, because I'm a physicist, so this part is really interesting for me, and I would
Your
like to know if
passion.
there are any more detailed course.
Yes, okay. So yes, you can find courses about that. The first course about lab-grown diamond is about can be done as a pre-record online or even live session again online or even on campus. And it's about the history and how to detect natural and lab-grown using normal tools. As we said already, it's very difficult, sometimes impossible. And then we have also a very special course. It's about how to use, mainly also how to read the spectra coming from the advanced instrumentation. We are talking about a very particular analysis using not simply the infrared with the Fourier transform, but also micro Raman and infrared micro Raman, and also the UV Visneer. So we are in the also in the visible light. And I hope very soon, since I told you before, now the most trendy spectrophotometer is the EDXRF. Now some companies already developed some EDXRF using a microscope. So it's a micro EDXRF. It's something very cool, very, very, very modern. It's really a jump in the future. And why not? In the future, we can also move it in our courses. Not now, Not now in that moment. Okay. In the courses I told you the beginning, I mean about the online pre-record or live session or even on campus, are also covering the most important information to use, how to detect, how to separate natural from synthetic. Not to obtain that information, but how to use them. Okay. We didn't mention, sorry, I will give you this. I told you I'm very talkative, so, so please don't let me do it. We didn't mention during our seminar, but we have also another test, a very important test, not involving lens instrumentation, but involving what we call imaging. What does it mean, image? We're going to observe the fluorescence of a diamond under magnification. In this kind of test, it's not important the color of the fluorescence, it's important the difference in the fluorescence according to the growing planes in the diamond. Okay, because we have to study exactly the growing direction, the growing planes in the crystal structure. Okay, any more questions?
Thanks.
To you, Manuel. I see ET, you have your head.
Hello, yes. Fabio,
Yes,
can you hear me? Yeah. Thank
yes,
you
I
very
can
much.
see you too.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for taking, thank you for the wonderful seminar. I
Thanks
just
to you.
purchased, I'm a consumer. I'm not an expert. I just bought a diamond that came with a certificate from HRD. And that's how I came to know about your institution and I subscribed to the course. It was
Bravo.
not a really, it's a 1.6 carat VS1 color eye, and I'm confident that it is a natural, not a lab grown, because it comes with a certificate from you.
This
But
is the
it's
best
true, I
warranty
heard,
you may have.
sorry?
This is the best evidence you may have, a certificate. Okay,
Okay, so
HRD
my question,
certificate.
my question is, did I hear you correctly saying at the beginning that now today it is extremely difficult even for an expert like yourself to distinguish? So I
Sorry.
only have to rely on a certificate?
Yes, yes. No, what I meant before is for a professional, so not a lab, okay? For a
Mm.
professional using basic tools like loop or a microscope or even a UV lamp or a combination of them, sometimes, however, most of the times, it is completely impossible to determine if the diamond is natural or synthetic, or even treated or not treated. Okay, some treatments like the fracture filling, it's okay, it's easy to determine, or the laser drilling, it's easy to determine. But HPHT treatment, for example, or just a simple annealing, it's completely impossible to determine using the basic tools. Only a lab with advanced equipment can do it. Okay.
Thank you.
To you, always to you. Okay, I see Bakris.
Hier zit
Bak,
ze naar links.
First of all, Fabio, how are you?
I'm fine. You?
I'm good, thank you. I just had a question. According to the Yehuda machines, are they always accurate or inaccurate, in your opinion, to distinguish between a lab and a natural?
Okay, just let's introduce also the machine you mentioned. Bakri is talking about the equipment you can find. You can easily find. You can easily approach. When I say easy, I mean in terms of cost. Okay, when we talk about the spectrophotometers, we have, for example, here in Dubai, we're talking about a huge amount of money because even the easiest and the can cost easily more than 300,000 of USD, even more, to be honest. The machine, the tool Bakri is talking about can have always a high cost, but more easy to access. Like we are talking about thousands of dollars, sometimes 5, 6. I believe the most expensive, now I'm going on memory, is around $14,000, $15,000. How do they work, first of all? They work using normally a range of radiant energy in the UV. Okay, what they do? They determine the diamond type. Do they have a margin of mistake? It's possible. It depends on the quality of the equipment you are going to buy. So be careful, read properly the instruction and the paper coming with the machine before buying, at least. And there is also a percentage of what we call refer. What does it mean, refer diamonds? A refer diamond means that the diamond or the stone, let's use a generic term, the stone requires further analysis. Okay, and with this kind of, let's say, market machine, like the Heuda you mentioned, but there is another one very famous because it's having the name of a very famous detective, the Sherlock Holmes. Also, the Sherlock Holmes is having a percentage of refer. Okay, it's possible, at least.
Okay, thank you.
To you. Okay, I see Michael.
Yes. Hi,
Ciao,
Fabio.
Michael.
Ciao. I have a question. Do you have issues with green color of diamonds to establish its natural, evidence or not? Because origin.
Yes, more than the natural or synthetic origin, we have troubles. Now I can involve all the worldwide labs. So
Yes.
we may have troubles to determine the origin of the color, the green color. Okay. Again, let's give a little bit of frame to that, so all of us can follow it. The color green in diamonds is due to the exposition to natural. We are in nature to any kind of radiant or radioactive energy. It happened that rough crystals of diamond in nature during the stage of deposit, so not formation, not coming from the mantle to the surface, but already in the surface, already there. So we call this stage deposit stage. During the deposit stage, these diamonds can be literally irradiated by a source of radioactive energy, and this kind of process can create the green color. The green color is very shallow. I mean, doesn't go deep inside the crystal. Looking at that, studying at that, and we are at the beginning of the previous century, we as a humankind, we literally invented the irradiation treatment in diamonds. So in our present time, we may have green color coming from exactly what we said until now, but we may have also green color coming from a treatment. And the treatment is exactly copying what happens in nature. So for a lab, even using the most sophisticated equipment, in some cases, it's literally impossible to determine if the green is coming from natural radiation or from man-made treatment, irradiation treatment. There is a famous diamond. It's called the Dresden green. Mm. The Dresden green, I don't know how many times it has been certified. And sometimes the green color is natural, other time the green color is coming from a treatment. So if you spend a few minutes and you Google Dresden green, you will have
Yes.
a lot of fun about. Okay,
Yes, thank you.
my pleasure. I see Karin, then Mustafa, and then Ajay.
May I?
Okay, Karin, you can start.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, Karin.
Yes, I have a question for the lab grown. I wonder if the properties can change within time.
Oh, your question is a difficult question, Karin. Okay,
It's an important one.
you are right. You are right. Okay, let's say that in terms of definition, but also in terms of fact, the only difference between natural diamond and synthetic diamond is who created them. Natural diamond, Mother Nature; synthetic, man. So they are exactly the same. So they have the same chemical properties, the same physical properties, and the same optical properties.
Yes.
If we move this, that's what we set down in crystallography, we're talking about the same material. We may say simply that. Okay.
Okay.
No. So to answer to your question, no. No.
Okay. That's
Uh,
nice. Mhm.
When it's possible what you said, because it's possible that what you said can happen. Okay. When a diamond can change in time the color, for example.
Yes.
We had some cases in the past. When it's a matter of a treatment. For example, we have to go back. We have to go back 5, 6, maybe. Let's say 2000, 2018, 2017, something like that. Going on memory, but we had some let's say bad news from the market about some diamonds entering, not in HRD, in another lab. I don't want to mention the name of the other lab. Let's say it's between the big three. The big
Yes.
three are HRD, GIA, and AGI. Okay.
Yeah.
So these diamonds came out from the lab with very high color grades, and after a few months, 6, 7 months, the color was much more lower, but really much more.
Okay.
Let's say from the top of the scale to the bottom of the scale.
Okay.
And in terms of a scientific case, it was very nice to study it. It was something very, for example, for me, it was a moment really to understand something more about diamonds.
Yes.
And we understood that it's a matter of HPHT treatment, or to be more precise, it's a matter of multi-step treatments.
Yes.
And among all the treatments, among all the list of treatments, there was 2 times HPHT treatment. But so it's not a matter of origin, natural or synthetic, but it's a matter of that.
Okay. Thank you
At
very
least for
much.
the experience we have until now.
Okay.
Okay, let's say that we don't have anything absolute when we
No.
talk about the power of the human in terms of technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for your answer.
To you, Karim, to you. Okay, then I saw, I don't remember anymore. I don't see any more hands. Okay, Ajay, yes. Ajay, it's you.
Yeah, hi Fabio.
Ciao.
Thank you for giving the opportunity. But I was having the same question as Karine asked about the property changes. But just one more thing I want to know: it's property okay, but even the sparkle of the diamond of CVD also
Bravo.
stays longer. The sparkle, I heard that
Bravo,
after
Ajay.
2 years. Yeah.
You open a very interesting topic. Bravissimo. I liked this question. Yes.
Thank you.
I answered immediately to you saying yes. But I want to say something more. Okay.
Okay.
Now we wear the clothes of a cutting team. So we are approaching the rough diamonds, and we want to cut the rough diamonds and polish the final gemstone. If I have natural diamonds, as a cutter, I have 2 main goals. My first goal is to save as much as possible carat weight from the rough. Second, my goal I have is to
Maximum light.
Bravo, is to make the diamond, let's say, or to release in the diamond the optical characteristics. When we say optical characteristics, we are talking about brilliance, fire, and pattern. Okay. If, as a cutter, I have to make a very dramatic decision and choose between carat weight retention and optical characteristics, the cutter is going to choose for the carat weight retention. In natural cases, if I have lab-grown diamonds, we may say that I have an endless stock of rough. So there is no problem in terms of carat weight. So that's why you may have heard someone saying then the synthetic are more beautiful, more sparkling, more brilliant. It's not true. It's true what we said until now, because as a cutter, I can really don't care about the carat weight retention. I can focus only on the optical characteristics, but otherwise they are exactly the same. Okay.
No, I understand, but the little bit more detail I want to ask is for example, today I bought one CVD diamond with the certificate of HRD, IGI, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And after a few years, the sparkle of this CVD diamonds is becoming less, or it goes away, or is sparkling less than what before 10 years I bought. You know, in the future, after few years, this is what I heard about a little bit about it. So I just want to.
No, we may say that in terms. Let me be technical in my.
Because one of my clients asking me this question. I'm also making jewelry with CVD and natural both. So one of my clients few months ago, he was asking me, and I had no answer. For the CVD, that sparkling go away after a few years. So that's why I'm asking you.
No, Ajay, let me be a little bit more technical now in my reply to you. No, we don't say sparkling. We say
I mean the light.
Fire,
okay, yeah, brilliant. Yeah, fire.
Brilliance, I mean, yeah. Brilliance is all the white flash of light coming from the inside of the diamond.
Right.
We say fire, we mean all the colored flash of light coming from the inside the diamond. When we say pattern, we are talking about the contrast between the brilliance and the dark areas. Dark areas are the areas from where the light is going out, normally in the pavilion. Okay. When we said that, CVD or HPHT synthetic diamonds are not going to lose brilliance, fire, and pattern. If they have it, they have. If they have the optical characteristics, they keep them. The only situation, but this is valid for synthetic and natural, that can reduce our way to look at the brilliance, fire, and pattern is the dirty, the grease. So if our diamond is not clean, we may see feeling that the brilliance is less, but it's just a matter to clean the stone.
Okay. Just a small last question. Can I ask just a small question?
Of course.
Okay. The in CVD diamonds, there is no fluorescence, or sometimes fluorescence also there in CVD.
Can be there. Can be there.
Okay. That's it. I'm done. Thank you. Thank you for
the statistic, Ajay, to all of you. The statistic in the present time is very short in terms of fluorescent CVD diamond, but it's possible.
Okay. Thank you very much for hearing my questions. Thanks a lot, and thank you very much. Next question, if you take it. Thank you.
Now I see Mustaba. Ciao, Mustaba.
Hello. How are you? How are you, Mr. Fabio? I want to say hi also to Mr. Michel Markovsky, my colleague. How are you, Michel? I hope you all doing so well. Excuse me, Mr. Fabio. I have one question about the courses you have. I want to ask you about the colored stone course in Dubai. When it's going to be?
November.
Because I want to meet you there also.
Yes, it will be in November.
November?
I don't remember now exactly the dates, but it's in November. October, November. Okay.
Yeah.
Just for you to look in the website and you will find it.
All right. Thank you so much.
But be ready, because we are pretty close to launch also the blended version of color stones and gem identification course. So a part online and a part on campus. Again, please remember that even if we are doing this big effort and teach online, so we can save time, etc., for the students, on campus must be done. There is
Yeah,
no other. Okay,
sure.
you have to touch the diamonds in the CDG, you have to grade the diamonds in the CDG course, as you have to touch and identify the color gemstones in the gemology course.
That's right.
So we cannot skip the on-campus part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Michelle, you.
Last question. Fabio, have you met ever the chameleon type diamonds, but synthetics?
No, I have to be honest, synthetic, no. No. Natural, yes. They are so beautiful. The chameleon diamond, Michelle is talking about, or Michael, sorry, Michael is talking about,
whatever.
is what we may consider in gemology a color change diamond. Normally, gemstones can change the color according to different quality of light. Normally, in gemology, we used to separate the light source in incandescent light and fluorescent light. We are not talking about UV, eh? Simple. Imagine to on your lamp now. If you look at the bulb, if the bulb is yellow, predominantly yellow and very hot, you are using incandescent light. If the bulb is bluish and very cold, if you touch it, even after, I don't know, 1 hour, it's on, it's a fluorescent light. So changing the two kind of lights, it's possible to see in the stones two different colors. Not on all the stones. It's typical in alexandrite. Alexandrite is a chrysoberyl. It's a variety of the chrysoberyl species. It's possible to see in some very rare garnet, in some very rare spinel too. In the sapphire, we have the color change sapphire, very beautiful. And it's possible also in diamond, but not changing the lights. It's possible in diamonds changing the temperature. So some chameleon diamonds can change the color after an exposition to 200 to 250 degrees. And then as soon as the temperature goes down and the diamond takes a normal environmental temperature, the color goes back to the original one. Normally the shift is about a yellowish green to a greenish yellow. They are not so rare, to be honest, the natural one. And they are not also so expensive at the end. Now I cannot tell you the price. I cannot tell you because I don't know, not because I don't want. But if going on memory, some friends told me, etc., it's not so expensive. Okay, more questions?
May I pose a question, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Dario. I'm calling from Italy.
Dario, where are you? I don't see you. Wait, Dario. Wait, let me see.
Wait.
Need to change the page because you are so many. I cannot see all of you in the same frame. Dario, I lost you. Dario,
you should see me. No, the name is Xiomi.
Xiomi. Okay, that's why
yes.
I couldn't see you. Okay,
it's the phone number, the name of the phone.
I can see you now.
No.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for the time you offered us. My question is about prices of natural diamonds. What is expected to happen to prices considering the synthetic diamonds? Thank you.
When we it's, let's say, a dangerous ground talking about prices, because what we may say now it's 7:33, no, can change in 30 seconds. So at 7:34 it's completely different. Okay. But we may analyze the general trend. So we experienced, for example, between last year and the beginning of this year, a fall, basically, of the prices of the natural diamonds. Then for a moment, we saw a stable price, and then also slow rise up and then again stability, and then now again a falling. So probably this will be the trend until the end of the year. So up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay. We have to follow basically the worldwide economy. And when we say worldwide economy, we have to also to consider the words. Unlikely we have two, maybe three, impacting at least the full worldwide economy. We have to look at some new markets coming out, especially from Africa, from South America, etc. Normally, what I do is to consider not simple the most important worldwide economies like US, Europe, and India and China, for example, but also all the economies we don't mention or we don't think normally, like for example Africa, South America, as we said, but even Australia. Okay, but I told you probably the generic flow of the prices will be up and down, up and down.
Thank you.
Personally speaking, and now I'm telling you something personal, so take it as an opinion, not as something that will happen. We will meet some stability, probable after the summer, but should meet some stability in the prices. Okay.
Thank you, Fabio.
Okay. I see Angelica. Angelica, we cannot hear you.
Now?
Yes.
You can hear me?
Yeah, Angelica.
Hi.
Titanis.
Fantastic. Thank you. And congratulations. Really important, all the info you shared with us. My question is a little bit different. You mentioned about the microscopes, the new generation and the new technology in microscopic approach. And I was wondering what exactly would be the advantages comparing to the traditional stereo zoom gemological microscopes we used to use from Eichhorst or Schneider, or I don't know, wherever, GIA maybe. What are the differences and how, yeah, I mean, they improve
I'm playing with you,
the
Angelica.
examination for the, to
Yes.
identify lab-grown vs natural.
It's not, I tell you what is not more than what is not changing is the magnification, for example. So magnification is so basically it's always the same. With the new generations, we can increase a little, but it's not making a big difference at the end. I know can look difficult to see or to accept as a talk, but let me tell you something. When a gemologist is working with a microscope, can do it for hours. So it's very important for the person to be comfortable. If after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I'm having pain in my arms or in my back or whatever, I cannot perform a good analysis because I have something distracting me. Okay. So what we are going to improve, and this is really our effort, is first of all, the chance to work for a long period without having this kind of problem. So in a very comfort way. Second, the quality of light. Now, the light is always the same again, but what we are trying to do is to make the quality of light less impact on the eyes of the person working. Again, if you want, it's a matter of a more comfortable situation or environment. Okay, and then the speed. So to have a stage easy to manage, knobs easy to manage in order to be more fast. So to not consume so much time. And why not? Also the chance to have an equipment at microscope that it's easy to use also for not an expert.
Oh, yeah.
Because the main idea is that, for example, also in a retailer selling desk can be a microscope to show to the final consumer some characteristic, some clarity characteristics or something different. Why not? In this period, it's important to involve also the final consumer, to bring the final consumer inside the product, because at the end, if we are going to sell a jewelry item or a diamonds, we are talking about the product. Okay, so why not? So maybe to have a screen over the microscope where the final consumer can see the diamond under magnification and so on. Okay.
So it's more actually to interact with the consumer.
Exactly. Bravissima,
And
Angelica.
use a bigger screen.
Why not?
We do not have actually to remove away the old stereo zoom microscopes and replace them the very next day. Okay, that's okay. Thank you. Thanks for
Because
that.
magnification will be always the same. I told you we
Yeah.
can, yes, we already increased it a little, but it's not making a big difference at the end.
Yeah, understood. Thanks. Thanks. Appreciate. Thank you.
My pleasure, Angelica.
Nice.
Now I see.
May I pose the last question, please?
Yes, of course.
Yes. The synthetic diamonds, up to which size they are able to produce?
Oh, we know in terms of rough, we know also rough, synthetic rough over 50 carats. So
50.
50.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
So again, if you want, again, it's a matter of technology, the force we saw before.
Yes.
Now the technology is so advanced that there is no more limit in terms of waiting time. So I sit, I prepare my machines, I prepare everything, and I sit and I wait. And if I have a lot of time to wait, I can have also big size rough diamond, synthetic rough diamond.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I see Mohammed. Mohammed, you have your hand.
I'm here. And thank you for the opportunity first. And sir, is there any equipment, upgraded equipment with AI for gemology?
Oh, yes, there is, but not for not accessible at the moment. But there is. Yes, there is.
Okay, thank you, sir.
There are equipment. I cannot give you too much details. It's a matter of secrets, lab secrets, let's say that, because all of us, again, let's stay among the big three, the big three labs. All of us, we are developing new equipment using the artificial intelligence. And all of us, we decide to, first of all, to work on the 4 C's, of course, and to the clarity and to the color. So clarity grade and color grade. Grading, sorry, clarity grading and color grading.
Okay, sir. Thank you. One more question. This is personal. Sir, I got a chance there to study in November. I am the winner of that giveaway, free course winner. And should I do anything to ensure my seat there?
I believe I have again, maybe some of you, my students, as I used to say, my kids, they always hear to me say, if you have knowledge, you have the power to choose. If you don't have knowledge, you cannot do anything. You have only to follow. Okay, so to me, every time it's a matter of education, the answer is yes. There is always a way. Yes, yes, yes. So if I have to give not only to you, Mohammed, but to all of us, the suggestion is study, follow the market, follow the news, follow everything is coming out from the market. Because in the next year, we will have a lot of surprises. Maybe now there is something like a fog, so we cannot really focus, but we will have a lot of improvement in technology, in synthetics, in the growing of synthetics, diamond and colostrones, everything. So we must be always up to date, always. And we must have also the tools, the mind tools to understand the development, the news, the changes. Okay, and then for us to have the mind tools, it's only one thing to do: study. Okay, improve our knowledge. Yes, I cannot see your name. Gold P. Well, it's not your name, Gold P. We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you.
Can you hear me? RP, yes?
No RP. RP, wait. I saw your hands, but I was saying to gold P.
Gold P, yes.
Not you now.
Hello, right now, can you
Yes.
hear me?
Gold P,
Okay,
yes.
super great. Hi, my name is Peter. How are you?
Peter. Okay, so the P is for Peter.
Yes.
Okay.
Goldport. Something different. Okay, doesn't matter.
Okay, so I didn't guess anything. Okay, perfect. Okay, Peter, shoot.
I'm very sorry. I have just noticed a link and just joined the.
Okay, Peter.
Very
Okay.
sorry. I'm late.
Don't worry. Next time you will be from the beginning. Eh?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Now, RP, it's you. RP? I cannot see you and I cannot hear you. RP, yes.
Now?
Yes.
Now you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. So I have a very short question. Since I've been doing some trading in rough diamonds, I live in Antwerp anyway, but I have a question about the equipment which was introduced by HRD itself 10 years ago about sorting the rough and trying to differentiate between the polish, between the synthetic LG and the natural. There is a small equipment. Also, you can do portable. You can take it portable. It was called 2000 something, HRD 2000. Is it reliable? I just want to know. I mean, 10 years ago it was. So I do think it's reliable still.
Yes, you look what you have, what you bought, let's say 10 years ago or whatever it was. It's
no, I didn't buy it that time. My friend bought it. But anyway, you can carry on.
Okay, it's using I don't know now exactly the tool, but it's not matter what the name of the machine.
Yeah, it's okay. I know.
What is very important is the kind of analysis the equipment is doing. It's determining the type of diamond. So 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B. So this is the analysis the equipment is doing. You can use it also now. Of course, now the equipment is much more involved, much more improved, faster and more accurate. So if you have the chance, or your friend has the chance to change it, to have the new one, it's much more better.
No, but there was a big one also which sorts very quickly the rough diamonds, and then it distinguishes between the mixed parcel. You know, when you have a big mixed parcel, it's very difficult with loop and to sort the diamonds. So the machine was very helpful to sort between lab-grown and the natural one, because there were lots of problems, going on in the market right now. They are mixing LGD with this thing, with a natural parcel. So for distinguishing that, I was thinking about when if I'm on the way somewhere, let's say I'm going to buy on field, I need some small equipment. Is there any equipment developed right now?
Yes,
so that I can buy one.
Yes, if you look at the Polish diamonds, yes, you have a lot of you have a lot of choice. Huh? Not only with HRD, but also outside HRD. Yes, you have options.
I'm talking about rough. I'm interested in rough because I'm not doing in polish.
If you look at the rough, no, you know why? Because the rough, we used to say, in our terminology, the diamond rough is having a skin. Sometimes the skin of the rough, so the surface basically, is not transparent. Okay. So this is a problem.
You have to feel it with the hand. I know that with the finger. I understood what you mean.
So all these machines, machines you can find cannot overpass this kind of problem.
No.
Okay. Just to be more clear with all of you, no? Also before we talk.
Oh yeah. So to rely on the light and just on your hands and look, the old method.
Yes, right.
Okay. Thank you very much. Sorry for disturbing
you. So before we talk about Sherlock Holmes, and other machines, I don't remember who asked me about what is the principle this kind of small tools are working. It's a matter of transparency of the diamond under UV. Okay, so it's not matter of transparency of the diamond if it is transparent or not, but the transparency of the stone under UV. So if there is some obstacles like the skin of the rough, there is no way for the machine to analyze to somehow to measure the transparency of the stone under UV. Okay.
So it's like refraction. You want to have the refraction interactive. Okay, I
Yes.
understand.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Okay. One more question. Michelle, I saw your hands before. Michelle? Michelle? Yes, you, Michelle. Yes, you. You, my student, my kid. Yes, you're moving. Yes. Do you have any question, Michelle? But we cannot hear you, Michelle. You are talking, but I see your mouth moving, but okay. Allora, I go to Eugenia. You have a question.
Yeah, hello.
I pronounce your name well?
Yes, that's correct. Thank you. Thank you for this interesting presentation. It is a pleasure being here. My question is related to the fluorescence because when I graduated from HRD 12 years ago, almost 13, I was taught that if the diamond has a blue fluorescence, it is the indication that it is natural and of the natural origin, you know, that it is not synthetic. For example, in my loop, I always have the portable, you know, like this is not the most expensive version of the UV light. And if my question to you, up to now, this blue light has not been recreated into the synthetic ones, right?
10 years ago, Eugenie, yes, it was correct to say something like that. Okay. But in terms of what we discovered, our progress in terms of even science of diamonds is not really 10 years. It's something like 1,000 years. Okay. What we know today that the color of the fluorescence, it's not even indications anymore.
Even if it is the blue one.
We may not consider anymore the color of the fluorescence as, let's say, evidence of something. Blue, green, yellow. Of course, if I see a red fluorescence, how do you say, my attitude is completely different. I start thinking something, of course. So we may say, just to play with the English, we may say that some very particular colors of fluorescence can be an indication, but not an evidence.
Okay, I understand. So this is just
Okay.
like a change of the terminology now in terms of identification.
Yeah, we may play with the English, exactly. An indication, not telling us anything. Just be careful. Just an alarm, an alert. Okay. An evidence is something we cannot discuss anymore about. An evidence of something. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry, Eugenie, let me say something more. We may say the same also for the intensity of the fluorescence. So not only the color is not an evidence anymore, but also the intensity of the fluorescence combined to the color, it's not an evidence anymore. Okay. Okay, more questions? I'm having fun with you, so don't be shy, yeah? I told you I talk too much, so let me talk. Pierre, is you? You want to ask something?
Me?
Pierre.
No, I want to say thank you. I'm one of your students since 2022 in Egypt. Do you remember me?
Yes, of course I do.
I was certified diamond grader. Thanks for you.
I'm coming back to Egypt, so be ready.
Yeah.
When I will be there, we
Yeah.
call all of you, so we do a
Thank you.
dinner all together.
Thank you so much for your knowledge and everything.
My pleasure, Pierre. My pleasure.
Yeah. Thank
So
you.
I have the lab coat with the logo today. Yeah, did you see
Yeah.
it?
Amazing.
Okay. So more questions. So you are tired, not shy. I would say tired. Okay. Okay. If you don't have any more questions or comments, I may. Well, let me see the time. Yes, it's okay. We can stop
I
here.
have one question because
Go.
I was late. Maybe
Peter.
someone asked that before. I'm
Mm.
very sorry that I'm late. I had some customers. Can I
Customers.
ask still? Um, I'm a diamond setter, and sometimes I forget to put to the bag the diamonds, and I mix sometimes synthetic diamonds and natural diamonds, and obviously I cannot use it as natural. So the question is how to make a difference, how to indicate in the easiest way which one is which one, because right now I have to use them only as a synthetics.
Sorry, Peter, right? Your
Yes,
name is
Peter.
Sorry, Peter, I'm not sure I got properly your question. Let's say that. So when you mount all the stones, for you it's you are looking for a way to fastly understand which is natural and which is
No. Let's say
I'm sorry
one.
to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt. I
Just-
guess he's just saying that by mistake he mixed natural and CVD both lab grown
Yes,
diamond.
yes,
Then how can he
yes,
separate it? By mistake
yes.
he did it the mixed up
between
natural and
HPHT
yeah.
and CVD.
Then how can he
Correct.
segregate? That's what he's asking.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you,
Peter. So
AJ.
to
Yeah, okay.
separate then HPHT from CVD.
No,
From
natural
natural
and
group.
CVD, natural and lab grown CVD.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Peter,
These are not quantities, but anyway, I have to somehow assort the goods.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can give you three different, let's say, levels of answer. The first one is the inclusion. So if you have the chance to look at the stone, the diamond, with the loop, mainly with the microscope, if you see natural inclusions, you know it's a natural diamond. Okay, but not all the inclusions. Now we enter in a bit technical part. So if I see something you don't understand, not only you, Peter, all of you, don't understand, then tell me. For example, if you see an included crystal, you know the diamond is natural. If you see a fracture, so we may say a feather or a cleavage, you are not sure. You cannot say synthetic or natural because the fracture is a reaction to a physical, related to a physical property. Since the fact that the physical properties are the same between natural and synthetic, a fracture, a cleavage, is not an indication of natural or synthetic. Okay. Fluorescence can be useful, not the color, not the intensity, but the arrangement of the growing planes. So, for example, I don't know if you ever seen in the past, mainly in the past, the HPHT diamonds, normally in the past, were coming with what we call the hourglass effect. So showing something like a cross, a Maltese cross, with different colors of fluorescence. So not the colors are the fact, but the composition they are creating. Okay. Or graining, for example. If you have chance to see some graining, again, the graining can follow the hourglass effect in synthetic, in HPHT. In CVD, if you look at the fluorescence under magnification, again, not the color, not the intensity, but the growing planes of the crystal, you may see what we call layered growth. Like
what magnification should be used to see the
don't put any limits. Don't put any limits. Can be
I have
10,
only
20,
180. This is difficult.
I know. I know. The more you go up with the magnification, the more it's difficult to focus. But don't put any limit. For sure, not only 10. You are not grading. Remember, in gemology, we have two main operations. Identify the material and then grading the material. Now we are talking about identification, not grading. So when we are in identification process, we can use any kind of magnification we want. Even 60 power magnification, 80 power magnification, if our microscope can reach it. Okay. When we grade the clarity of a diamond, we must stay on 10. But it's another story.
I was thinking if I use shortwave UV light to check the, as you say, the color, but the color doesn't reflect if it is CVD or not, right? I just wanted to check if it is red or not.
You may have an indication. If you see a red fluorescence, it's a very strong indication of CVD, but
we cannot be sure for 100%. Yes,
you cannot give it for as an evidence. You may take it as an indication, but not as an evidence. Okay. Just think at do you know the famous Hope diamonds, the blue Hope? The blue Hope has red fluorescence and red phosphorescence. It's natural diamonds. Okay. Of course,
so what,
very red. It's very close to the unicity. Let's say that. But in terms of
what is the second indication? First indication, it should be the shortwave.
You may cross
of UV light.
You may cross the shortwave fluorescence. You may cross the inclusions analysis.
Okay.
And then when you have more than one indications, you may take your decision. Okay.
Okay.
Like in the detective work on the crime scene, you know, when you have 3 indications, the 3 indications make an evidence. Okay.
Yes, but the goods are very small. This is stars and melee. So I was thinking if there is any very simple way to
look for some
differentiate the goods, and that's all.
Look for some devices. You can find some devices that can help you. Like the
all right,
one
thank you so much.
You can explore different brands, different companies. So you may have also different prices, but these kind of devices can help you. The ones using the UV to determine the type, diamond type. Okay.
Thank you.
And using also combining the type with the color of the fluorescence and the intensity of the fluorescence and the growing planes, some devices, some tools can also tell you the origin of synthesis, like HPHT or CVD. Okay, but it's a combination of all of them, not only one, not only the color of the fluorescence. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
To you, Peter. Okay, more question? Anga, is you?
Yes, hello, Fabio.
Hi, Anga, okay.
Okay, thank you, Fabio, for your time. And
thanks to you.
Yeah. And Fabio, do you have any comment about the photoluminescence technique or method to identifying lab grown and natural diamond?
See, it's our favorite kind of analysis. Absolutely. Basically, what we saw before, about the Raman, we may consider as a PL, photoluminescence. Okay. Yes, it's important. It's mandatory, I would say. Again, all the labs in this moment are working with very standard procedure, let's say. The first step, when we have a diamond, and we know it's a diamond, it's immediately to understand the type. If it is 1A, 1B, 2A, or 2B. According to the type, then, if it is type 1A, we know it's natural. And so our work is finished.
Okay. How about the type of the diamond, like aggregates, like type AB, 1A, AB major?
Bravissimo. If it is 1B, so we are exactly in your request, no? If we have 1B, 2A and 2B, then we have to do further analysis. And now it's coming. The imaging can be very fast because we look at the fluorescence and the magnification, and we look for the growing planes in the crystal structure. Can be the photoluminescence, as you said. Yeah, then according to the color of the diamond, we may use visible light, or we may use different kind of wavelengths. It depends then on about the stones, and then we can also look for treatments, because it's photoluminescence is useful for synthetic or natural origin, but it's a key test, I would say mandatory test, to determine the treatment. When we talk about treatments, we are talking about the treatments modifying the color of the stone, improving or changing completely the color of the diamond. Okay, like for example, HPHT. When we want to determine if the diamond has been treated with the HPHT treatment. The treatment is having the same name of the growth method because it's actually using the same technology, high pressure, high temperature. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Fabio.
My pleasure, Anga. Okay, more curiosity, more comments, questions? Okay, I take your silence as a sign to close our seminar. But I want to see all of you next one. No, there is Michelle. No, it's not the right hand. Okay. Okay. Michelle, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you. It's just not. Thank you so much. It was very nice meeting to you.
My pleasure. Now
One question. Yeah, just will you do scientific courses only in Antwerp or also in Dubai?
No, for now only in Antwerp.
In
When
Antwerp,
you say
okay.
scientific, you mean how to read the result from
The spectrometry,
only
yeah.
Antwerp, yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
My
Take
pleasure.
care. Bye.
The other Michelle, we cannot hear you. I see your mouth moving, but okay, you text me an email. Bravo. It came to my mind. If you have any questions, any doubts, any comment, even tomorrow, just text me an email, send me an email. Feel free to do it. My email address is my name, fabio.d'amico@hrdantwerp.com. So very easy.
Hello.
Okay.
Now I'm here, I think. Yes.
Oh, Michelle, yes, we can hear you now. Yes.
Steph, technology is also making us trouble. I just like to add, Fabio, that I think that shortwave UV lamp are underestimated, especially when we speak about parcel of diamonds. And also it's important properly to use them.
Michelle, just make a very short introduction of you. Just very short introduction. Don't take seconds.
I'm your student. I'm working for you from behind. From behind. And I just like to add about the shortwave UV lamp that first they're underestimated, in my opinion, when we speak especially about parcel of gems. Because if you look on the parcel, like in the ring, for example, in Mali diamonds, yes, you can always see, maybe you can find something that is quite different. And second thing that I would like to add is that when we are using shortwave UV lamp, time matters. It's not like with the other natural diamonds when you're just putting and very quickly taking out. Sometimes you need to spend a few hours, just let them, you will buy a new lamp, maybe if it's burned, but maybe you can catch fluorescence or phosphorescence, so it's a little bit tricky. And that's, of course, a tendency, is not a result. Like only
Yes.
to give you some intentions, like we don't speak that we detect it. But usually HPHT you can very easily detect.
It's a bit easier, yes, correct.
Yeah. So if you have, Peter, if you have in the parcel HPHT diamonds from the old times, probably they will be very strongly fluorescence under shortwave. But put them in the dark room. Yeah.
Dark background. Okay.
Thank you.
More comments from all
No,
of you?
not much comment, but just to say thank you for everything. And I hope in June, in my June trip in Antwerp, if you are there, just come to say hello to you in July if you are there in Antwerp. In Antwerp, not
Perfect.
Dubai.
Ajay, I hope that. Perfect. And if you come in Dubai, I'm always here, so it's
Okay,
easier.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Guys, so if you don't have any more questions, I believe we can close here. I'm slowing down, so I'm giving you the last occasion to ask something. Okay, so I really thank you all. It was a great pleasure to spend this time with you. And again, if you have any comments, even tomorrow morning, you wake up, oh my God, Fabio said something I didn't understand. Text me an email. Okay, send me an email. Okay, so thank you very much all and see you next time.